Peace be with you. Dear friends, welcome to Living Flame podcast website and Facebook group. Living Flame spreads the good news of Christ and reflections on day's gospel. Today we are celebrating Thursday in the Octave of Easter. Gospel passage from Luke chapter 24 verses 35 to 48. The two disciples who were in Emmaus got up the same night and went back to Jerusalem to proclaim the good news that Jesus is resurrected. And as soon as they were giving this news, Jesus appeared amidst of them. They were startled, they were surprised. And Jesus says, "Do not be afraid. Look my hands and my feet and my body. A ghost does not have a body." And then he asks them something to eat. A wonderful experience for all these disciples. Of course, resurrection always evokes a kind of fear within us. Why fear? Because something extraordinary. It goes beyond human thinking. That is why St. Augustine says the fact of the resurrection was disputed so much as no other fact. The resurrection of the flesh was disputed throughout the history of mankind. There were the Epicureans, there were the Stoics, Manichaeans, Gnostics, Pantheists, Rationalists, and Materialists. All of them, in one way or the other, in their own reason, oppose the resurrection of the flesh. But for us, we have a clear proof and experience within us. Resurrection cannot be rationalized, or we cannot discuss it through philosophy, cannot prove it through science. It is a personal experience. And that's why these disciples were so excited to see Jesus. Dear friends, all of us have a kind of fear of death. When days approach, when years pass, we always know that we have to end our life in this world. But it ends with the definite purpose of the resurrection. We will be resurrected. Sometimes it saddens us that we have to leave this life. But then the assurance of the resurrection, dear friends, gives us such a lot of hope and joy. One day we all will be together with the risen Lord in our Father's home. And that will be a feast, a great feast, as Jesus himself showed his hands and feet and instilled that courage and enthusiasm in the hearts and minds of those disciples. He opened their minds to the Holy Scripture. Holy Scripture is the book of life that instills in us every day the power of the resurrection. Every word, every detail, every story, every parable, the saying of the wise people, the Psalms and the prophets, all lead us to understand the great fact of the resurrection of Jesus. Therefore, dear friends, as we are in this beautiful season of Octave of Easter, let us try our best to instill in us that enthusiasm of the resurrection and spread the good news of Christ around us, that Christ is truly risen and he is in us, he is around us. He can appear to the disciples at Emmaus on the way, to the 11 disciples, to the 500 apostles and disciples, as St. Paul recounts it, and then he appears to the women, and that is what we find. He appears even today to all of us when we do good, when we spread the peace of Christ around us. God bless you.